All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're going to peek inside the playbook of some of the savviest investors in Ibadan, one of Nigeria's biggest cities. And look, this isn't some dry academic exercise. We're talking about real-world strategies, stuff you can actually learn from. So let's dive in. If you're an investor, it doesn't matter where you are, you always face this one huge choice. It's a classic dilemma, really. Do you jump into the market where everyone's already buzzing? Where the prices are soaring and it's the hot place to be? Or do you go looking for those quiet spots, the places where the real growth hasn't even woken up yet? So I'll ask you directly, which one would you choose? Would you buy where everyone agrees it's a good deal, or where the growth hasn't even started making a sound yet? Seriously, think about that for a second. Your gut reaction to that question, that's the key to unlocking this entire way of thinking. It's all about whether you're playing for today's status or for tomorrow's big win. Okay, so to really get this strategy, you first gotta understand the playing field. And in this case, the playing field is the city itself. Think about it. Cities aren't static. They're like these living, breathing things. And they almost always grow in a predictable way. They expand outwards. And that expansion, it's pretty much an unstoppable force. For an investor who knows what they're doing, that's where all the opportunity is hiding. And this really hits the nail on the head. Ibadan is still expanding outward. Those holding land on the edges today are positioning for tomorrow. See, that's the whole game right there. It's not about finding some forgotten corner in the city center. No, it's about seeing that the sleepy outskirts of today, well, they're going to be the hotspots of tomorrow. That's the one big idea driving this whole thing. All right, once you grasp that invest on the edges idea, it leads to this really big shift in how you think. The smartest investors, they do something that's absolutely critical. They separate where they live from where they grow their money. It's a huge distinction. The best place for your lifestyle right now is almost never the best place to find explosive investment growth. I mean, it just makes sense, right? A lot of the wealthiest investors in a place like Ibadan, they're already living in those well-established, super nice, and yeah, super expensive areas. We're talking places like Bodija, Jericho, and Agodi. These are the lifestyle zones. They're great to live in today, for sure. But those investors know the crazy growth period for those spots, that's pretty much over. So they look somewhere else to put their investment money. And this lays it out perfectly. You've got these two totally different ways of thinking. On one hand, you've got the lifestyle buy. That's going to have a high entry cost. It's all about current prestige, but the growth potential, it's pretty limited. Then you've got the investment buy. The entry cost is way lower. It's not about now, it's about future potential. And that's where you find that shot at really high growth. Smart money knows which column to focus on. Okay, so if the smart money isn't getting tied up in the flashy, high prestige areas, then where is it actually going? Let's get specific. We're going to look at a few case studies that pull back the curtain and show you the exact pattern these investors are following. First up, let's talk about the Moniya Axis. Now, is this a prime spot today? Not really, but that's not the point. It's located perfectly near new infrastructure, new roads, the paths of future expansion. So what happens? Investors are quietly, very quietly, buying up land here. They're not building a mansion for themselves right now. They're parking their money and waiting for that future value to explode. All right, next we've got the Ido Axis. And the key thing to know about this place? It's not flashy at all. And you know what? That's exactly why smart money loves it. Because it's not flashy, prices are lower, you can get bigger pieces of land. It's the perfect setup for what we call land banking. You just buy it, hold it, and let time and the city's growth do all the heavy lifting for you. And then there's a place like the Egbeda Axis. I like to think of this as the get your foot in the door strategy. It's an area that's actually really well connected, but for whatever reason, a lot of people just overlook it. So the play here is simple. Just secure the asset. Buy the land first. Don't even worry if it's going to be commercial or residential yet. Just lock it down before everyone else realizes its potential, and figure out the details later. And finally, let's look at the Omi-Adio and Iwo Road extension. The big story here is its location right on a strategic highway. That access creates this massive potential for spillover. We're talking both industrial and residential growth coming its way. So the strategy here is about as simple as it gets, but it's not easy. It's buy now, and then wait patiently. So, are you starting to see the pattern here? Think about it. Moniya, Ido, Egbeda, what do they all have in common? They're quiet, they're definitely not crowded, you're not reading about them in the headlines, and you know what? That's the whole point. The real value is always found in the silence, right before the crowd shows up and starts making noise. And this all builds up to the single most important lesson, the golden rule, you can take away from this entire playbook. And honestly, this idea goes way beyond just real estate in Ibadan. This is about how you find value anywhere. It's about seeing what's coming long before anyone else does. And here it is, the core of the whole philosophy. Rich people don't chase noise. They anticipate movement. Think about what that really means. Chasing noise is jumping on the bandwagon when an area is already popular, when it's all over the news, and when prices are through the roof. You're just late. But anticipating movement, that's totally different. That's about looking at the fundamentals. Where are the new roads going? Where are people moving? And then you position yourself right in the path of that progress before it arrives. So the ultimate question isn't, where is everybody right now? It's, where is everybody going to be tomorrow?